Love English podcast.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Love English Podcast. I'm Emma, and I'm so happy you've decided to spend some time with us today.
And I'm Leo. Hello, everyone. Emma, today I want to ask the biggest question. I think it is the most important question for every single person who is trying to learn English. I have been thinking about it all week.
Oh, that sounds very serious and very important. I'm ready. What is this big question, Leo?
The question is this. How long does it really take to be fluent in English? I just want an honest answer. I see advertisements on the internet all the time. They say things like, become fluent in 3 months or speak English perfectly in 6 months. Are these real? Is it possible? I really want a number. 1 year? 2 years? 5 years?
That question. You are right, Leo. That is the number one question learners have. And thank you for asking it because it's so important to talk about it honestly. The simple, direct answer is that any advertisement promising fluency in 3 or 6 months is not telling you the whole truth. Learning a language is a long journey, and there is no magic number that is the same for every person on Earth.
I was worried you would say that. But why not? It feels like there should be a clear answer, like learning other skills. For example, it takes a certain number of hours to learn how to drive a car. Why isn't English the same?
That's a great point. But learning a language is much more complex than learning a single skill like driving. The reason there's no single answer is that the question itself has 2 very big problems inside it. The first problem is with the word fluent. What does being fluent mean to you? What does that word look like in your mind?
To me, being fluent means speaking English perfectly. It means I sound exactly like a native speaker from the United States or the United Kingdom. It means I make 0 grammar mistakes, I know every vocabulary word for every situation, and I have a perfect natural accent. That is my goal.
I see. And thank you for that honest and clear definition. That idea of fluency is the number one reason so many learners feel frustrated and want to give up. The definition you just gave is almost impossible to achieve. It's a goal for a superhero, not a human.
What? Why? I thought that's what it meant to be fluent.
Let me tell you a secret. Many native English speakers don't know all the words. They make grammar mistakes in their daily conversations all the time. I do too. And think about accents. A person from Texas sounds very different from a person from London, who sounds very different from a person from Australia. Which one of them has the perfect accent?
I never thought about it like that. There is no single perfect accent.
Exactly. So, we need to change our definition of fluency. A much better, more realistic definition is this. Fluency is the ability to communicate your ideas and understand other people's ideas without too much stress or difficulty. It's about successful communication, not about absolute perfection. You can be a fluent speaker and still make mistakes. You can be a fluent speaker and still have an accent from your home country. You can be a fluent speaker and still need to ask, sorry, what does that word mean from time to time?
So fluency is not a finish line that you cross one day. It's more like a skill level, a state of being comfortable with the language.
That is the perfect way to describe it. It's not a destination you arrive at. It's the comfortable road you are traveling on. So that's the first problem with the question. The definition of fluency is personal and not about perfection. The second problem is that every single learner is different. The time it takes depends on many personal factors.
Okay, I want to know about these factors. What are they?
Let's talk about the 4 most important ones. Factor number 1 is your goal. We just talked about this a little. Why are you learning English? Your personal goal changes the answer to your question completely.
Can you give me a clear example of that?
Of course. Let's imagine person A. Her name is Maria. Maria just wants to learn English for a 2-week holiday in London. Her goal is to be able to order food, ask for directions, buy train tickets, and have simple conversations about the weather. We can call this vacation fluency. Now, let's imagine person B. His name is Kenji. Kenji wants to study physics at a university in America. He needs to read complex textbooks, write long academic essays, and participate in fast-paced classroom debates. He needs academic fluency. Do you think it will take the same amount of time for Maria and Kenji to reach their very different goals?
No, not at all. Kenji's goal is so much bigger and more difficult. It would take him much, much longer.
Precisely. So, you need to ask yourself, what is my specific personal goal? Is it to talk to my English-speaking colleagues about our weekend plans? Is it to understand my favorite TV shows without subtitles? Is it to pass a specific English exam? Each of these goals has a different timeline. A vague goal like, I want to be fluent, is not helpful. A specific goal is powerful.
That makes so much sense. My personal goal is to have a good conversation with my cousin in Canada. Maybe I need to define what a good conversation means to me. Okay, what is factor number 2?
Factor number 2 is time and consistency. Learning a language is like filling a big, empty bucket with water. The bucket is your brain, and the water is English knowledge. If you only add one small drop of water each week by studying for 20 minutes, it will take a very, very long time to see any water in the bucket.
But if you add a whole cup of water every day by studying consistently, the bucket will fill much faster.
You got it. The amount of time you spend studying and how consistently you do it is probably the single biggest factor. Someone who studies for 30 minutes every single day, 7 days a week, will improve much, much faster than someone who studies for 4 hours, but only on Sunday. That one big study session on the weekend is good, but the daily habit is what truly builds momentum.
Right. We talked about consistency being the secret key. It's all about building that daily habit, even if it's small.
Yes, and this connects directly to factor number 3, which is your study method. How you use your time is just as important as how much time you spend.
I think I know what you mean. It's the difference between active learning and passive learning, right?
That's a huge part of it. Let's break that down. If you spend 1 hour studying by having an English movie on in the background while you cook and clean, that's very passive. You will learn a little, maybe a few words, but it's not a very effective method. Now, imagine you spend that same hour doing very active things. For example, you spend 20 minutes speaking with a language partner. Then you spend 20 minutes writing a short paragraph about your day. Then you spend the last 20 minutes listening to a podcast like this one, and you pause it to repeat sentences out loud. Which hour do you think will give you more progress?
The active hour for sure. I have to admit, a lot of my study time is probably more passive than I thought. It feels easier to just watch a video.
It is easier, and it's okay to do some passive learning for fun and relaxation, but your real progress will come from the active work, speaking, writing, and engaging your brain. The quality of your study matters. Some methods are simply faster and more effective than others.
So it's not just about counting the hours. It's about making the hours count. What's the last factor?
The final factor, number 4, is your starting point and background. This is about things you can't really control. For example, if your native language is very similar to English, like German, Dutch, or French, it is often easier and faster for you to learn. These languages share a lot of vocabulary and some grammar structures with English.
What if your language is very different?
If your native language is very different, like Japanese, Arabic, or Mandarin, it can take longer because almost everything is new. The grammar is different, the alphabet is different, and the sounds are different. This doesn't mean you can't become fluent. Of course you can. It just means your starting line is a bit further back. Another thing is your past experience. Have you learned another language before? If you have, your brain already knows how to learn a language, which can make the process faster.
So, to summarize, the real time it takes depends on four big things: my personal, specific goal, the amount of time and consistency I put in, the quality and effectiveness of my study methods, and my language background.
That is a perfect summary. And now you can see why the question, how long, doesn't have a single easy answer. And that's why you should stop asking it.
Stop asking it, but I want to know.
I know, but it's not a useful question. It makes you focus on a finish line that doesn't really exist. A much better and more powerful question to ask yourself every day is this: what can I do today to get one small step closer to my goal?
I like that question much more. It feels more positive. It gives me the power. It's something I can actually control right now.
Yes, it puts you in the driver's seat, and it helps you focus on the journey, not just the faraway destination. Let me share one final idea that I think will help you. Instead of thinking about that one big, scary fluency, think about having many small fluencies.
Small fluencies? What in the world is a small fluency?
It's my own term for it. Think of it this way. After a few weeks of studying, you might be coffee shop fluent. You can confidently walk in and order your favorite coffee without fear. That is a real achievement. You are fluent in that situation. You should celebrate that.
I see. That's a great idea. What are some other small fluencies?
After a few months, you might be hobby fluent. You can talk about your favorite movies or books for 5 minutes with a friend. That's another victory. Then maybe you become supermarket fluent, where you can ask where the milk is and pay for your groceries. Then you become introducing yourself fluent. All of these small fluencies are the building blocks. They are the bricks you use to build your big house of English.
I love that. It feels like leveling up in a video game. I don't have to beat the final boss today. I can just focus on completing this one small level.
That is the secret. See your progress in these small, achievable steps. Don't worry about the giant mountain in the distance. Just focus on the path right in front of you. Enjoy the process of learning, and one day, I promise, you will look back and be absolutely amazed at how far you have come.
This was so helpful, Emma. Honestly, I feel a sense of relief. I'm gonna stop worrying about the how long question and start focusing on the what I can do now. My goal for today is to get one step closer to being podcast fluent by listening to our channel, Love English Podcast, and writing down 5 new phrases.
That is a perfect goal, Leo, and a wonderful system. And to all our amazing listeners, please be patient and kind to yourselves. Your journey is your own. There is no timeline you have to follow. Just keep taking those small steps forward every single day, and you will get there.
Thanks for listening to Love English Podcast. Remember, every minute you spend learning English is an investment in your future. Keep learning and see you in the next episode.